Pope Francis issues another warning about the 3 days of darkness. Greetings to all our dear Catholic brothers and sisters. We are truly grateful for your presence here today and wish you a day filled with the grace and peace of Christ. As we dive into this timely topic, we reflect upon the recent concerns raised by Pope Francis, whose frequent warnings about the state of the world and its future have resonated deeply with many Catholics and Christians around the globe. Pope Francis has expressed growing anxiety about the Vatican's safety and the challenges facing the Church in these turbulent times. One particular prophecy that has garnered significant attention is that of Marie-Julie Jahenny, a French mystic renowned for her stigmata and prophecies. Her prediction of the 3 days of darkness has stirred the imaginations of many, especially with the year 2024 being highlighted as a potential time for these events to unfold. Marie-Julie's prophecy describes a period of unparalleled suffering, where wars, disease, natural disasters, and societal collapse will culminate in a cataclysmic event, a tremendous earthquake followed by 3 days of impenetrable darkness. During this time, no one would be able to see without the aid of candles, and chaos would reign. However, once this period of darkness has passed, it will give way to a new dawn, a time of peace, hope, and spiritual renewal for humanity. This prophecy has two distinct interpretations, both of which demand careful consideration. The first is a literal interpretation, which envisions a physical, apocalyptic event where the world is plunged into 3 days of literal darkness and suffering. This interpretation is dramatic and unsettling, as it foresees a time when humanity will endure a purifying trial that leads to ultimate spiritual transformation and the arrival of a new era of peace. The second interpretation is more symbolic, reflecting the moral and spiritual crisis humanity faces today. In this light, the 3 days of darkness symbolize a period of intense spiritual desolation. It represents the moral confusion, division, and apathy that permeate our world, where the light of faith seems dimmed, and the voices of righteousness are drowned out by the overwhelming noise of secularism, fear, and indifference. Pope Francis has often spoken about the darkness that is manifesting in the modern world. The rise of polarization, the erosion of human dignity, the coldness of society, and the terror of conflicts that leave millions in despair. In this context, the darkness predicted by Marie-Julie Jahenny can be understood as the deep moral and spiritual crisis that we are already witnessing. The 3 days could be seen as a period of spiritual trial that humanity must undergo, testing the strength of our faith, the integrity of our values, and our commitment to one another. Pope Francis has warned that unless we confront this darkness, this spiritual indifference, humanity risks heading further down a path of destruction. These two interpretations, the literal and the symbolic, are not mutually exclusive. Rather, they complement one another, each providing a distinct lens through which we can view the world's impending trials. Whether these days of darkness will be a literal event or a profound spiritual crisis, the message is clear. Humanity is being called to repentance, spiritual renewal, and a return to faith. Pope Francis urges us to seek the inner light of Christ, to cultivate moral conscience, and to hold steadfast to our beliefs in the face of turmoil. As we reflect on this prophecy, we are reminded that spiritual crises, like those described in the third secret of Fatima, often serve as a call to action. They ask us to examine our lives and our relationship with God. They challenge us to confront the darkness of sin, division, and despair with the light of faith, hope, and charity. For many, the message of Marie-Julie Jahenny and the warnings of Pope Francis are a call to brace ourselves, not just for external disasters, but for a deep, internal purification. It is a time for us to gather our strength, to embrace the call to penance, and to prepare our hearts for the coming of a new era, a time of peace, unity, and spiritual renewal. Let us not ignore the warnings, but rather let them be a source of reflection and action. As we approach what may be the most difficult years humanity has faced, we are reminded that in the darkest moments, the light of Christ shines brightest. May we be ready to carry that light into the world, becoming beacons of hope, faith, and charity for those around us. Thank you for joining us in this important reflection. We encourage you to share your thoughts and insights in the comments below. Let's continue to walk together in faith, preparing for the days ahead with prayer, vigilance, and unwavering trust in God's Providence. Facing the darkness. Preparing for the prophecy of the 3 days of darkness as we approach the future, one profound question arises that calls for deep reflection. Are we ready to ignite the light within us to face the coming darkness with honesty, trust, and unwavering faith? This is the central theme echoed by both Pope Francis and the prophecy of Marie-Julie Jahenny. Both highlight the necessity of nurturing our inner light, an internal force that will guide us through turbulent times, whether they manifest physically or spiritually. Pope Francis, in his continual message of hope and preparedness, urges us to not only recognize the darkness, but also to shine our light during these moments of crisis. His words are a call to action, challenging us to strengthen our inner resolve through faith, compassion, discernment, and a solid ethical conscience. This inner light can take various forms: the strength to resist hatred, the courage to avoid the savagery of our world, and the wisdom to navigate the sea of misinformation that floods our society today. By remaining true to our Christian values, we keep our candles lit, offering hope to those who are struggling in the surrounding gloom. Similarly, Marie-Julie Jahenny's prophecy of the 3 days of darkness paints a stark and chilling image of a world plunged into utter chaos, where the absence of light represents both physical and spiritual desolation. But this darkness, as daunting as it may seem, is not meant to paralyze us. It is an invitation to kindle the light of faith within our hearts. Both the prophecy and Pope Francis's teachings urge us to recognize that our ability to weather these storms lies in our commitment to uphold the light, whether that means prayer, acts of charity, or an unwavering trust in God's providence. As 2024 approaches, the possibility of these 3 days of literal darkness has captured the imagination of many. Will we face this prophecy as an environmental disaster, where civilization as we know it crumbles under the weight of destruction? Or will it unfold as a deeper, more existential spiritual trial, a moment of reflection where the true nature of our hearts is revealed? We cannot say with certainty, but one thing remains clear: the prophecy, whether interpreted as literal or symbolic, holds profound significance for our spiritual preparation. The impact of Marie-Julie's words is undeniable. Even if we do not know the exact details of what will unfold, her prophecy forces us to examine ourselves and our world. We must confront the anxiety and uncertainty that pervade our modern society, much as people of the past faced the trials of their own tumultuous eras. The darkness described in the prophecy could be the result of global unrest, catastrophic events, or perhaps the growing spiritual malaise that threatens to overtake us. Regardless of the form it takes, it will be a time of profound challenge. What is more crucial than knowing the specific outcome is understanding the underlying message. The darkness, whether it is physical or spiritual, is an opportunity for transformation. It is a test of how brightly we can shine in the face of fear, confusion, and uncertainty. As we prepare, we must embrace the light of faith, not as something external, but as a force within that shapes our actions, our thoughts, and our prayers. In the end, whether the 3 days of darkness unfold as foretold or remain as a symbolic warning of future spiritual battles, the core message remains the same. The power to overcome the darkness is within us. It is through our faith, our resolve, and our communal prayers that we can prepare ourselves to meet whatever challenges come our way. It is through our collective effort to hold on to the light that we can transform the future, no matter how dark it may seem. As we stand on the threshold of 2024, let us take the time to reflect on this prophecy not with fear, but with hope. Let us be ready to shine our inner light, dispelling the shadows and guiding ourselves and others through the storm. May our hearts be steadfast, our faith unwavering, and our commitment to prayer unshakable as we face the future, whatever it may bring. A prophetic call to action. The 3 days of darkness and our collective future. As we contemplate the future, it's essential for us as a global community to reflect on the significance of the 3 days of darkness prophecy and the deeper questions it raises. In a world so fraught with uncertainty, marked by war, economic challenges, pandemics, and social unrest, we must ask ourselves how we will respond. Will we view this prophecy as a challenge, urging us to increase our resilience and deepen our faith, or will we allow it to fuel fear and anxiety? Will we approach it with compassion, reason, and collective wisdom, or will we let alarmism spread and divide us? The prophecy of Marie-Julie Jahenny is not just a forewarning of physical darkness. It is a profound spiritual and ethical challenge for each one of us. It calls us to examine the role of faith in times of trial, especially when it seems that the world is on the brink of collapse. In this context, the prophecy encourages us to think beyond mere survival, asking how we can build a better future even amidst the crises we face today. How do we respond to the fear and uncertainty that often accompany such predictions, and how can we, as individuals and communities, embrace hope and resilience? These are fundamental questions that resonate deeply in our world today. With constant reminders of global catastrophes, from war to economic instability, this prophecy acts as a mirror to our present circumstances. It challenges us to recognize the interplay of light and darkness in our world, both the darkness of suffering, division, and despair, but also the light of faith, compassion, and the collective human spirit. The brilliance of this prophecy lies not just in its predictions, but in its timeless relevance. No matter the specifics of what unfolds in 2024, the 3 days of darkness serves as an opportunity for reflection and action. It gives us the chance to assess how we, as individuals and as a collective, wish to shape our future. Will we choose to move forward with compassion, unity, and integrity, or will we let fear and division guide our responses? Will we allow the light of faith to shine in our hearts, or will we succumb to the overwhelming darkness of doubt and despair? The message here is clear. Light can triumph over darkness if the human spirit is willing to rise above the challenges we face. It is through our collective resilience, our ability to act with integrity and compassion, that we can make a meaningful impact on the world around us. The 3 days of darkness prophecy gives us all a powerful opportunity to come together in shared purpose, regardless of the exact nature of the events that may unfold. It is a chance to take practical steps toward healing, renewal, and spiritual rejuvenation. Marie-Julie Jahenny's prophecy, whether interpreted literally or symbolically, is ultimately a call to action. It urges us to rekindle our inner light and prepare ourselves for whatever challenges lie ahead. It calls us to face the difficulties of today with compassion, resilience, and a renewed sense of purpose. Pope Francis' reflections on the darkness that permeates our world today align with the essence of this prophecy, urging us to confront the ethical and spiritual dilemmas we face with renewed vigor and optimism. As we move forward, the question remains, how will we respond? Our collective destiny will be shaped by how we react to these prophetic warnings, emphasizing the importance of moral behavior, spiritual discipline, and the inner light we carry within us. Let this be a time of introspection and action, as we reflect on how we can be the light that guides the world through any darkness. We invite you to engage with these messages, share your thoughts, and contribute to the ongoing conversation. Your insights are valuable as we collectively prepare for the future, ready to embrace the light of hope that can overcome any darkness. Please take a moment to subscribe to our channel, click the bell icon, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Together, let us walk forward into the future, knowing that in the end, light will triumph over darkness.